Hey, what's up guys? We're back again with the new best Royal Giant deck in Clash Royale. After the meta shifted to a ton of defensive decks with Miner and Poison, this Royal Giant deck rose to the top. Because if your opponent's relying on cannons, bomb towers, archers, musketeers, or any range card to kill your Royal Giant, they're going to be in for a terrible twist. When the monks dropped in front of the Royal Giant to tank, your opponent's defenses will go blank. The monk's one elixir ability will reflect back all the damage at the opponent and make them reflect about what they were thinking. Pro players prefer to play this Royal Giant deck over everything else. But if you don't have monk, you can use Royal Ghost instead. It's time to bounce into some games, bounce back all of our opponent's attacks, and assert dominance. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on any of the daily videos. Lots of love to everyone that's using credit code SirTag to make all of the high effort videos possible. He is a part of a camp and we are ready to go and camp his towers. We are never leaving your side of the map, my man. As soon as the game progresses, we are going to spam like a savage. So we're gonna go for our archers in the back, and we're gonna make sure that we have opportunities on both sides. Generally my favorite thing to do. Okay, so it's probably gonna be a graveyard deck, or maybe it's a Lava Hound deck. We see 7 elixir cycled from our opponent with his champion, and then also the tombstone. So I would love to activate King Tower with the Skeleton King, but generally that doesn't really work out. So instead, I'm just gonna go for a fireball on top of the skeleton dragons and turn them to dust. So I need to go for a monk here. Oh, this is annoying. The fact that you're making me log just doesn't make me feel happy. You know, you're hurting my monk, you're hurting my feelings, and you're hurting my elixir count as well. Okay, this is decent. I can go for a monk, and then go for a Royal Giant, and click the monk ability, and destroy his dreams. I just need to be able to get this ability down. If it kills the flying machine and protects the Royal Giant, I'm a super happy sir. Yo, let's go. We're vibing with it. It's happening. The mood swings are real, and we are swinging it back in our favor. It's going super, super well. Jeez. All right, so I want to go for a Phoenix instead of going in for archers, because the archers could get arrowed. Also, if I go in for a fireball, the fireball doesn't counter push. The Phoenix does, so definitely the best option available for us. Ooh, do I go for a Fisher Boy here? It might be a slight overcommitment, but I think it is worth it. And the reason why is we want to protect the egg as much as we can. Okay, did not work out. We yoinked him at... Wait. Phoenix, respawn. Cook him. Let's go. That is incredible. That makes me so happy. The dumb bird does dumb things to towers, and it dumpstered him. That was awesome. So as long as I can defend this Lava Hound, I'm in a phenomenal spot. The thing is, I want to cycle the monk in the same side as the Lava Hound because we were expecting him to go for a flying machine, right? So if he goes in for a flying machine, our best way of killing that is using the monk ability. I don't really want to do anything else. Okay, cool. Okay, targeted the monk. That's incredible. Now we can go in for the monk ability. Protect from the arrows. Yo, look at that defense, though. That monk ability was twofold. It folded our opponent's towers, and it folded everything on defense, too. That was awesome. I love it. So what do? I think that the Phoenix will die on our side of the map and resurrect. Oh, I wish it died so then it could guarantee a resurrection. Anyway, we can go in for a fisherman here. I believe that that's going to be worth it because maybe we can get another Phoenix to respawn. If we can get 2 Phoenix respawning in this game, that would be insane. And it worked out, baby. Monk ability, save the deal, seal the deal, save my booty. And I think we got it. There's no way for him to break through. This game is utterly over.
A few dominance is asserted later.
Super simple win against Lava Hound, and this deck is dominating today. Can't wait to keep it up and see how high we can get. Early season, this safe Royal Giant deck wrecks, and it's the perfect deck to rush up the ranks. What's up, Lobo? What's going on, brother? You got that dancing goblin banner, which I think is some of the coolest artwork. Thank you, Clash Royale, for actually giving us awesome artwork this season. This guy's gonna go in for goblins in the back. Okay, cool. I love it, dude. I love the fact that you're embracing the goblin banner and also embracing the goblin card. So I'm going to go in for goblins of my own because you just dropped your log, and I don't know if you have an answer, my man. Oh, you've got more goblins. It's gobs and goblins everywhere. Okay, so whenever we see a mini P.E.K.K.A. and Ice Golem, it's got to be Hog Rider, right? This has to be a Hog Rider deck. So I want to go for a Phoenix on top of the mini P.E.K.K.A. and then also assassinate the Dark Goblin. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's my arch nemesis. It's the piggies. So we gotta go and fry them, turn them into burnt bacon with our fireball. Not necessarily the best start for us because he, didn't get the King Tower activation. Really unfortunate the Fisher Boy wasn't able to reveal his final form. Oh, all right. So we know that he's gonna have mini P.E.K.K.A. So our best way of countering the mini P.E.K.K.A. is pulling the mini P.E.K.K.A. using our fisherman and making predictions on his Goblin Gang so he has no way of distracting besides Ice Golem. So the Goblin Gang is actually gonna be out of cycle. But we know he's gonna go for mini P.E.K.K.A. So we can make that pull. I'm ready for it. Are you guys prepared? Are your bodies mentally prepared for these plays? I can't wait. Yeah, it's just too hype. It's too hype out here. So we're going to go in for the fisherman right now. We're going to try to pull the mini P.E.K.K.A. He's going to go for an ice golem, unfortunately. We are able to log on the ice golem, so we are able to pull the mini P.E.K.K.A. eventually. It's just after the royal giant died, you know? Not necessarily the order of operations that we wanted. It's totally okay, though. It does happen. We're going to fireball immediately so we can bounce back the piggies. If you fireball too late, then you're not going to be able to finish off the piggies as fast. If you fireball earlier, then your fireball is going to make sure that your tower doesn't waste shots on a piggy that would already die to the fireball. Basically, we are damaging down a piggy that would already get killed by a fireball if we fireball too late. So it's bad. It's not a full utilization of our resources is what I'm trying to say. We can go in for a monk in the back, and then he's going to go in for an ice golem. We want the ice golem dead so that we can log the goblin gang and make sure that we prioritize pulling that mini P.E.K.K.A. He's going to cycle the mini P.E.K.K.A. early on so we can get back to another one. We want to save our log for the goblin gang or the dark goblin, depending on what happens here. So we can activate King Tower with one of the piggies, actually. I think that's going to be worthwhile. I'm going to log on top of the dark goblin, and then I'm going to go in for goblins off to the side so we can divide and conquer. Do we activate King Tower or is our archers too strong? Oh my gosh. Archers, you're too overpowered for your own good. You finished off a piggy that would have activated King Tower for us. How could you? So our next alternative is prediction fireballing on top of a goblin gang and also hopefully killing the mini P.E.K.K.A. or knocking it back. That's another alternative play that you guys can do to disrupt their defensive sequence. We're going to go for a log here, and then he's probably going to go in for an aggressive royal hog. So I want to go in for a monk, and then I want to follow up with a royal giant. The other thing is, even though that this monk doesn't necessarily reflect back buildings, it's still very hard for the opponent to break through, because notice the goblins, the spear goblins, the dark goblin, they all have to be dropped off to the side. And if they target the monk first, that's going to be the absolute worst for my dude. GG and well played. We turned your towers to rubble because that royal giant just gave you too much trouble. With a monk, log, and fisherman, your defensive answers were just simply inadequate. Yo, Braden, what's up, dude? We're going to be dropping in good luck and goblins, and hopefully, you know, you don't get good luck against our goblins. Maybe you'll get good luck in your next couple games. We're going to go in for archers in the back, and we'll see what he's got. If he's going to have like a Hog Rider Ice Golem deck, it would be incredible for me. No, I just wanted you to end up having Hog Rider. So he's going to go for a balloon. We want to go and pull the monk, but notice how the monk doesn't get pulled when the fisherman is trying to yoink it. Feels bad, man. We're going to go for a fireball here with the Phoenix to make sure it only gets one shot on our tower. All right, still a lot of damage from our opponent, but not necessarily what I expected. When you see Ice Golem at the start of the game, you're thinking like, oh, maybe it's like a 2.9 Expo deck, or maybe it's 2.6 Hog Rider. Very rarely do you see a balloon cycle deck with Ice Golem in the meta. Anyway, Braden's out here being different. We're going to go for goblins, and we can maybe go in for like a monk in the back on the same side where we already have a lot of damage on, because it's important for us to protect that lane. If our opponent decides to go in for a monk ability, then we can reflect his own monk ability using our monk ability so he can't kill my archers. I don't know if you guys are feeling what I'm saying, but basically, you can nullify your opponent's monk ability using your own monk ability. So, that's not something that was going to happen here. We're just going to go in for a Phoenix in the back and the left-hand side, because if he goes other side, then he's going to go right into archers, which would be a horrible trade for him. Oh, that's exactly what he's going to do. You can activate King Tower with the Fisherman against the Lumberjack if you guys didn't know, because the Rage does do damage. It does damage in a circle, so pretty cool to activate King Tower. If you guys don't know, now you know. We're going to follow up with a Royal Giant whenever we get the chance on the left-hand side, because if you think about it, the guy isn't going to have Lumberjack, one of his highest damage dealers. So he's probably going to have to go for a Monk here, most likely. Oh, is he just dead? He's going to go in for a Hunter instead. Wait, the Hunter didn't hit the Royal Giant with the first shot. That's incredible for me. All right, I'm not going to spend any extra elixir because we're already in a great spot. One of the biggest things that I see people do as a mistake is they'll go and drop a fireball on top of a Hunter after like the Hunter isn't something that you have to overspend or worry about that much. You can chill a little bit and then build up a little bit more of an elixir advantage and then go for a Monk afterwards, which will give you counter push, which I like doing more so. We're going for goblins here with a monk and then go and drop our Phoenix again as well. And then I think we want to go in for a fisherman and go and yoink his stuff to the other side pretty much immediately so we can finish it off. And then we can go in for a log on top of the dark goblin and also kill the lumberjack a bit quicker. And then we're going to go in for goblins directly on top of the monk. What is that monk ability tanking for? I think it's tanking the game. That's what it's doing. We're going to go in for a fireball here on top of his... Ooh, I don't know if I ended up hitting it. Okay, I did end up hitting the hunter. That's pretty important because now we can log on top of the hunter and the dark goblin all at once. Oh my gosh. So 250 damage is what it does at level 13. That's what Fireball does. So we are in range of winning the game with the Fireball. All I need to do is cycle back to it. So I'm going to go Goblins, I'm going to go for Fisherman, and we are going to go yoink a win. As long as he doesn't make a prediction on my Fireball, we're going to go and snag the W. GG and well played. That fisherman pull to activate King Tower felt so good. Pulling us a pretty clean win against Brayden, so let's bounce on to the next one. All right, so this guy is a part of his very first story looking at his clan. So you know what? I don't think it's gonna end well for you, my friend. I'm gonna go in for Royal Giant whenever we have an opportunity, but you're not giving me anything at the start. Usually I like cycling my logs, my goblins, and kicking open the game, but this guy's not giving me anything to really cycle. He is eventually gonna go for his zappies, and I could fireball on them. I think it's gonna be worth it. I am dropping my entire elixir bar there though. So if he goes opposite lane pressure and he kind of just ignores the monk, that could be bad for me, but I do have fisherman, so I think I could activate King Tower potentially depending on what his win condition is. So he's gonna go in for giant. Ooh, is this giant graveyard? This is looking like a spicy giant graveyard match. So I'm gonna go Phoenix in the back against the graveyard, and then I'm gonna go in for a fisherman on top of the giant. I want to kill all the graveyard skeletons with our archers and our Phoenix, so the fisherman prioritize targeting the giant. If it targets the giant, that's a huge win. We need to activate...
Promiscuous, my style is ridiculous. If you see us in the club,
activate King Tower against the giant. Stop being stupid, fisherman. Be intelligent. Let's go! That's a massive win for us. Oh my gosh. I had no faith in the fisherman at the end, and I was just so surprised that it worked out, but I'm stoked for it. We know he's likely going to end up having a skeleton army, so we want to get geared up with our log depending on what he does. That would be awesome. I'm still going to log on zappies because I want to be able to disrupt them so they don't shock my Royal Giant too hard here. I'm going to go for archers relatively early as well so I can kill his Skeleton King. Because if the Skeleton King doesn't cross the river, it's not going to give me any troubles. Okay, so we're winning the game by a pretty large margin. If you can activate King Tower by eliminating all the graveyard skeletons with your goblins or archers, so then, you know, your fisherman actually targets the giant, then it's a really good trade. But if you don't have archers or goblins in cycle, you can't necessarily do that. And you also definitely need the help of the Phoenix, because if they go for arrows or snowball or something, your goblins or your archers could die. The Phoenix is robust and it will actually stay sturdy there. So that's why we had to overcommit on defense against the graveyard skeletons so we could finish them off really fast. Okay, so I'm okay with this position because I think he loses the witch, and then he can't even pull the monk if I drop the ability fast enough, but I didn't, so feels bad, man. I'm gonna go goblins in the back, so maybe he's gonna go in for like an arrows or maybe drop his spell a little bit earlier. We're gonna fireball on absolutely everything here. Oh my gosh. And look at the goblins. That's incredible. If you guys didn't know, you can pull the giant to the other side using that fisherman placement. You can also even drop the fisherman a little bit lower and it'll still fulfill the same obligation and play. All right, I think I'm in a good spot. I want to go Royal Giant on the left-hand side. We know that he's going to go for Zappy, so we want to have Fireball and Cycle because that's going to be his best response, right? We need to make sure that we have good answers to his answers. If he goes in for a Fisherman, we can go for Archers here to predict it. Let's go! You guys see that? Making sure that we know that we have answers for everything he has means that he's absolutely shut down. He is damsel in distress, and he is done for. So GG and well played. Much as I predicted, your first story had a pretty nice ending for me, but not the fairy tale ending he was looking for.
Yeah. Like that's ever gonna happen.
The double predictions on the fisherman and zappies ensured we destroyed his tower. Yo, we got a game against Golem. Is he actually going to be playing Golem? 99% of the time when people have this name, it's like a bad tattoo. They're stuck with it forever while they switch to a different deck. And obviously, I think Golem has converted to the religion of Ice Golem, which, you know, it isn't really the same thing, my man. So we're going to have to go in for a log here, and then we want to go in for Skeleton's counter with the log, because if we didn't do that, the Hog Rider would have definitely not activated King Tower, since we would have, you know, focused on Skeletons instead of the Hog Rider. And that's why a lot of people do that, Skeletons. It's also really good against people that go in for like tornadoes, because the tornado will catch the Hog Rider, but it won't catch the Skeletons, and then the Skeletons will do a lot of damage to the tower. So that's the reason why he did that. He's logging, but I feel like he's in a pretty bad spot. We're going to fireball the Musketeer to the other side optimally. Please just stop hitting the Royal Giant. Walk away. Walk away. Pretend like nothing's there. Let's go. I love doing that. That's so much fun. And look at him. He's like,
okay, well, I got to make the best of this worst situation and drop an Ice Golem with my Muskie.
He's freaking out. He's like, wow, what do I do? If you guys hate 2.6 Hog Rider, this is the deck for you. If you go in for a Monk in the back, and then you drop a Royal Giant with a Monk, it is hilarious what you can accomplish. So if he goes in for a Cannon and a Musketeer right next to the Monk, they get obliterated. Oh my gosh. Whoa, Wild Child, stop these plays right now. Calm down with your Hog Rider aggression out here. He's going to do a lot of my tower just because I wasn't ready for him to try to push a musketeer into my face. But he's going to drop a cannon, and it's going to be really funny. Notice how he won't even have the musketeer anymore because he just wasted it. We're going to go for a Royal Giant here, and then we're going to go in for archers as well, most likely. No, I'm going to go goblins, actually. So then when he tries to log, he's not going to be able to hit the goblins, or he's not going to log. Oh, he's going to log further back. That made a lot of sense. Notice how the cannon is hitting my monk, though?
Stop hitting yourself. Hit yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Even though he tried to drop it behind and target the Royal Giant first, it still ended up being the worst. It still targeted the monk. For whatever reason, that always happens to me too. Whenever I'm playing against a Royal Giant player, no matter where the monk is, my cards find a really dumb way of targeting the monk instead of targeting the Royal Giant. I firmly believe that that position for him should have targeted on top of my Royal Giant, but it just never works out that way. We're going to go for goblins here, and then I can go for Royal Giant and then again. Guys, I might be able to take multiple towers out here. He's not even taken one yet. This is hilarious. 2 towers to 0. This Royal Giant deck is the hero.
A few Euro landings later.
This Royal Giant deck rarely wrecks 2.6 Hog Rider, one of the most hated decks of all time, and every game you get against 2.6 will convert to an easy win. We won over 10 games in a row with this deck, so it checks out that it's one of the most reliable top ladder decks in the game. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more daily videos, and have an incredible rest of your day.